Good morning. We bring you the morning edition of MPC News with me, Mike Mlongoti. Our top stories this morning. Government calls on development partners to continue complementing efforts to promote quality education in the country. Evidence-based health research has been described as the catalyst for improved healthcare service delivery. And in sports, mighty Wanderers on top of the FDH Bank Premiership after thrashing Chitipa United by 4-0 at Chitipa Stadium. The first item in the bulletin, the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has urged development partners to continue complementing government efforts of promoting quality education, noting the success of the Free Secondary Education Initiative depends on the participation of all stakeholders. We have a report by Helix Manemba.
Speaking at CBC-DSS in Doha, Msaka said that with the introduction of free secondary education, there is an urgent need for more classrooms to accommodate the growing number of students. He explained that the construction of the new classroom blocks by Let's Build Foundation is in line with the government efforts to expand access to quality education. He further stressed that the government will ensure that every secondary school has proper learning facilities, including laboratories, noting that improved infrastructure is key to improving student performance and increasing enrollment.
Let's Build have given us a beautiful headmaster's office and has given us 4 beautiful classrooms. It's our responsibility as government, working with the Member of Parliament for the area, through the Constituency Development Fund and other resources to ensure that these other aspects of a school are here. We will not rest until all these are here.
Country Director for Let's Build Foundation, Ruth Kawale, said the organization's assessments had established that Doha district is among the districts most in need of adequate educational infrastructure, hence the support.
We started in 2021 in Malawi, and then we said we shouldn't go far. We should start with districts that are close to our head office, so we learn. So after learning, we constructed 48 classroom blocks in Lilongwe district, and now we finished the needs according to the findings of the research that we did, and then now we've moved to Doha. So that's the main reason we're in Doha, it's because of the needs that we identified.
CBC-DSS head teacher Clemson Gajipala said the school had previously struggled with dilapidated infrastructure, which discouraged students' enrollment.
The very poor classrooms, students were learning in very poor conditions. Sometimes they were leaking, and we were even scared that the roofs can be easily blown off by the winds. So in most cases, students were not happy with such classrooms, and that was a total demotivation to them. But now with these new infrastructures, yeah, we are very happy, very proud, and it will add soup to us, and again, it will attract more and more students to come and be learning here.
Since its establishment in 2021, Let's Build Foundation has constructed more than 50 classroom blocks and pit latrines in several districts across the central region.
The Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has called on stakeholders in the country to utilize the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) to support the expansion and implementation of the Building Education Foundation through Innovation and Technology BEFIT program, as well as the Preparatory Class program. More in this report by Lonjezo Nsodoka, read in the studios by Margaret Mapando.
The meeting aimed to raise awareness and update various stakeholders on the progress of the BEFIT tablet-based learning program, which is being implemented in some primary schools in the country, so that they could also share the information in their respective areas. The stakeholders were also briefed on another education program called Preparatory Class, P-Class, which the government is currently piloting in selected schools across the country. The program is designed to lay a strong educational foundation for 5-year-old children by preparing them before they begin Standard 1. Speaking after the meeting, Legeke said government introduced the BEFIT and P-Class programs to help learners gain strong foundation in the early classes of their education.
We were just sensitizing the local leaders and the politicians in the district to understand what is happening in their district and should have the spirit to support foundational learning through BEFIT by either constructing structures that will accommodate the gadgets that are used by learners. And even under P-Class, we are also lobbying them to put in their plans to construct more classroom blocks in schools so that they could support P-classes.
Council Chairperson for Dedza District, Joseph Kwenda, said it is important for the stakeholders, including members of parliament, to work together in advancing such foundation learning initiatives.
For the program, we are going to lobby for our MPs, with the councillors, to share for the CDF this coming year in order to reach in all schools.
Joseph Kaumpawi, Member of Parliament for Dedza Lintipe, expressed commitment to utilizing the CDF in the expansion and implementation of the two programs.
Only the government cannot manage, so we also involve other stakeholders, as well as the monies which will be given for the 5 billion, probably in the other year. As we're making our plans, we also try to include so that we should make sure that this program should continue.
In Dedza District, 32 out of 256 schools are benefiting from the BEFIT program, while 15 schools are participating in the P-Class program, which is currently under pilot phase.
Health researchers in the country have been challenged to capitalize on networking and collaborating to conduct evidence-based research that may impact lives of Malawians and improve health care service delivery. Austin Fogula reports.
Associate Professor Mibando stated that young researchers struggle to obtain grants from their research because oftentimes they lack mentorship and advice from senior researchers who can shape their research proposals to be responsive to the issues the society is facing.
For one to be able to achieve a very good grant that is going to be funded, one needs to think through what are the local problems that are available in Malawi that are going to speak to the policies and priorities of Malawi. One needs to be thinking of a multidisciplinary team because you don't work in isolation. Better grants are done in teamwork, meaning that you're bringing in the different professionals within that team to do that. There's also an aspect of integrity. There's a need for a researcher to be a researcher of integrity so that whatever monies are entrusted into me, the finances that I've received, I should be able to use them diligently.
Executive Dean of School of Nursing at Guhes, Dr. Genesis Chowe Sungani, says the Research Day provides a platform for young researchers to present their research work ideas, at the same time get feedback from senior researchers. Dr. Chowe Sungani adds that for a long time, only a few research works done by both undergraduates and postgraduates translate into policy making and make an impact on improving health service delivery.
We now have a knowledge translation unit in the Institute of Postgraduate Studies and Research, where we are going to have people employed specifically, like whatever research is going to be presented here would still be linked to that office, and that office should come up, support the researchers and direct them to say how this research can end up into an innovation or can influence policy and come up with the policy briefs.
The School of Nursing Research Day was first of its kind for Kamuzu University of Health Sciences, held under the theme Sustaining a Research Culture in Nursing, Evidence, Excellency and Impact. Austin Fukula, NBC News, Lilongwe.
The Competition and Fair Trading Commission CFTC has urged Malawians to familiarize themselves with their rights as consumers and traders to avoid being exploited when buying or selling goods. More in this report.
Kaunda bemoaned the exploitation that Malawians often face during trading due to lack of awareness of their rights. He said CFTC will continue conducting sensitization campaigns to protect Malawians from unfair trading practices and exploitative contracts for the benefits of all Malawians.
Lack of knowledge of consumer rights it cuts across the country. The buyers, the consumers, are not aware of their rights. And even the traders themselves are not aware of their own rights as well as the duties that they have towards the consumers. So it is the role of the Commission to step in to ensure that the rights of the consumers are upheld in order to prevent violations from taking place in the future.
Lilongwe District Council Community Development Officer Gladys Kalumbi hailed CFTC for the initiative, noting many people still lack such information. She said the campaign is helping to bridge the information gap among communities.
People from today are able to know where to go whenever their rights on concerning trade have been exploited. They are able to know where to go. They have known from today how fair trading has to be done. So this is development, and we appreciate for the efforts that the CFTC has done, taking their time coming here to do this function today. It's a welcome development, and we plead with the organization to still hold more rallies concerning these issues of fair trading.
In his remarks, village headman Jibozo also commended the initiative. He said as consumers, they have gained essential knowledge that will help them in their everyday lives.
We are grateful for this sensitization campaign because a lot of us did not know our rights. Now we will be able to buy and sell things without anyone exploiting our consumer rights.
CFTC operates under the Ministry of Trade and is mandated to regulate, monitor, control and prevent acts of conduct that are likely to affect competition and fair trading in the country.
This is MBC News with me, Mike Mlongoti. A reminder of our top stories. Government calls on development partners to continue complementing efforts to promote quality education in the country. Evidence-based health research has been described as a catalyst for improved healthcare service delivery. And in sports, Mighty Wanderers on top of the FDH Bank Premiership after thrashing Chitipa United by 4-0 at Chitipa Stadium. Welcome back. A new organization aimed at helping men freely express their concerns and emotional challenges, Nkhani, has been launched in Blantyre. Professionals from various fields will be involved in providing counseling and support to people whose lives may be at risk due to emotional distress and mental health challenges. Arthur Chukoto reports.
Activities marking the launch of the Kumasulankawa Momasuga Kunkamo initiative began with a solidarity walk from Maselima to Country Club Limbe, where various awareness activities were held. According to Executive Director of the organization, Devi Malamya, several programs have been planned to reach people across the country with the aim of reducing suicide cases and promoting mental well-being, among other objectives.
In a few days, we'll come back to the nation to say exactly what we want to be doing. Otherwise, a lot of people just talk about suicide, but maybe how the remedy, how to control suicide in men, and again, to help those people who don't have enough.
One of the mental health specialists, Dr. Precious Makina, says the establishment of the organization is a major milestone in efforts to promote good mental health and well-being among Malawians.
When you talk of mental health, it has different prongs, including prevention, promotion, curative services, rehabilitation, and research. So coming in of institutions like these ones, they're quite helpful, especially in terms of promotion of mental health as well as prevention of mental health problems. Because most of the times for us in the health sector, our role comes in when it comes to curative services. But for preventive, I think we need more support from the private sector, from civil society organizations like this one. So it's a welcome idea, and we really are proud of them.
Women who participated in the solidarity walk to launch Nkhani said they are pleased with the initiative, noting that many women have been affected by the rising number of suicide cases among men. Arthur Chokoto, MBC, Blantyre.
As cases of mental health involving men continue to rise in the country, churches have been urged to take a proactive role in addressing the vice by educating them on the importance of seeking proper support. The call was made by Blantyre Prison by Baptist Church Men's Ministry Regional Coordinator for the South, Moses Maulidi, during the commissioning of men who have qualified into the Baptist Church Men's Ministry from Blantyre North Association. Maulidi explains.
A Baptist Convention of Malawi introduced this ministry, men's ministry, because this ministry, it was introduced, I think, 5 years ago. So the purpose is, one of the goals of the prison of the men's ministry is that the men should be able to express themselves about the challenges they are facing. That they must be feel free to express whatever challenges they are facing, so that they must be encouraging each other.
Founder and President of Salvation for All Ministries International, Apostle Clifford Kawinga, has outlined an ambitious drive to deepen collaboration between churches, traditional leaders and communities, saying sustainable development can only be achieved when spiritual and traditional leadership work together. Patrick Dambula reports.
The gathering brought together paramount chiefs, including Inkosi Yamakosi Gomani 5, senior chiefs, traditional authorities and church leaders under the theme A Shared Vision, strengthening the relationship between the church and communities through spiritual and traditional leadership. Addressing the leaders, Apostle Kawinga said chiefs remain indispensable partners in community transformation because of their influence and responsibility as custodians of culture, land and community welfare. He stressed that while the church remains committed to spreading the gospel, it equally focuses on addressing social and economic challenges affecting communities through practical development interventions.
As much as the government is doing its part, there is a lot of progress now and there's hope for Malawi, but we are leveraging on that small part that we can be able as a church to be relevant to the society. So today, meeting the chiefs, these chiefs are the ones who are the custodian of this initiative. They're the ones who have got the people in the society, and these chiefs are the ones who are responsible when it comes to the choices of the beneficiaries. So we were discussing issues on how the initiative has begun since last year.
Apostle Kawinga said the ministry's vision extends beyond spiritual growth and seeks to create communities that are economically empowered, socially developed and resilient to challenges such as climate change and food insecurity. Speaking on behalf of the chiefs, Inkosi Yamakosi Gomani 5 hailed the initiative, saying biblically, chiefs and religious leaders were working together for the betterment of their people. He commended the church for the livelihood projects it is implementing, which he said are helping to transform lives of many underprivileged people.
Religious leaders and traditional leaders have always worked together, even in time immemorial. It's even written in the Bible. And we definitely need to work together now even more to make sure that moral integrity and oneness, unity and love is encouraged in the areas, and most importantly as well, development. As you can see, there are various initiatives that will definitely bring so much change into our communities, and for that we appreciate. And we commit ourselves as traditional leaders to make sure that everyone does their part, and also this.
According to Kawinga, the church's impact over the years has been significant, reaching more than 10 million people through spiritual and humanitarian programs. On Friday, Apostle Kawinga visited 55-year-old Yothamu Nkokoko of Tunduzi village in the area of Senior Chief Chauma in Dedza district, who has been paralyzed and bedridden for 29 years. Through the Salvation for All Ministries, Apostle Kawinga constructed a house for him 5 years ago and decided to make a follow-up visit.
What we have come here to do is to make sure that we continue to bring love and a smile upon his face and appreciate the life that God has given to him. It's a message on its own, and we believe that whatever God has upon this young man is going to be accomplished. It's what we have done today, bringing love, follow up on what we did the past 5 years and see how his status is, of which we are 100% fully convinced on the way.
The ministry has also constructed more than 50 community structures, including schools, churches, police stations and houses, while supporting over 500 students with school fees and providing food assistance to nearly 2 million people. Patrick Dambula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Authorities at Blantyre City Council BCC have underscored the importance of mindset change among residents in caring for the environment, emphasizing that cleaning all areas in the city can curb communicable diseases, including cholera. A representative of the council, Lonex Kasia, made the call when officials from Ethos, an eco tour agency, cleaned the streets of Blantyre Central Business District on Sunday. In a separate interview, Trevor Ntaulo, who is the social media manager at Ethos, said cleanliness is crucial if Malawi is to realize her development aspirations contained in Malawi 2063. Taulo explains.
What motivated this initiative is tourism. Our company mostly focuses on tourism. So with tourism goes together with a sustainable environment, a nice place for people to visit us. We need to show them that we can take care of our place nicely and have them with us. As young people, this could also be a way of bringing something new to Malawi, because most of the Malawians do not know how to initiate something that has never been done. We are afraid of the uncertain. So here we're trying to bring something that's new so that we can have a better future with a healthier Malawi. We could prevent cholera from cleaning the streets just like this.
And in sports, Mighty Wanderers have gone top of the FDH Bank Premiership after thrashing Chitipa United by 4-0 at Chitipa Stadium. Lamek Miti, who was among the scorers for the defending champions, Lamek Miti was among the scorers for the defending champions, and he is now the leading scorer with the goals. Wanderers have dislodged Silver Strikers from top on goal difference, as they are both level on 13 points, and so too Blue Eagles, who are third in the league. Well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of top stories before we leave. Government calls on development partners to continue complementing efforts to promote quality education in the country. Evidence-based health research has been described as a catalyst for improved healthcare service delivery. And in sports, Mighty Wanderers on top of the FDH Bank Premiership after thrashing Chitipa United by 4-0 at Chitipa Stadium. Keep up to date with our news by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your screen. You were with me, Mike Mlongoti. Thanks for watching and have a good day.